Hello everybody, this is Super Grover here. So this is a video that is going to go through the year of 2012 and just talk about the games that are coming out and what I will be doing, what I'll be doing walkthroughs for. Now keep in mind that the dates are subject to change for two reasons. One is that that's just what happens. The developers essentially put out this date in which they hope to have the game finished by, but then they either get behind or they just don't feel the game meets their expectations yet for the public, so they push the date back. Okay, that's the first reason. Now, the other reason is because as you all know, do PC walkthroughs only. So, odds are a lot of these games will have a later PC release date instead of releasing simultaneously with the consoles, which I'm okay with. I know a lot of people who play PC, they get really upset when the consoles get it first. They're like, what the hell? Why can't they just release it at the same time as consoles? What the hell? Why do we have to wait? And it's because the companies know that they can make a lot more money on the consoles rather than the PC, because there's a lot more people playing consoles than people having a higher end PC. So the PC version is not really priority, which sucks. I'll admit that does suck, but I also see it like this. With the delay, the PC version will get all those extra options in the game that you see. When you go under the graphics settings and you see anti-aliasing, you see the DOF, the filtering, the texture quality is better, the distance levels, the physics, all that stuff that makes it look so much better, and a lot of developers don't really put that into the console versions because it's just too demanding for the consoles to handle. And generally, and not always, but sometimes when they're released later for PC, the price is lower, which is cool. Um, like Alan Wake, for example. People paid $60 for that on the Xbox, and I got it for $30. The collector's edition with both DLCs, I got it for $30 on PC. So that's another thing that's really cool. You get it for cheaper sometimes. But it's mostly about making money the fastest, which is with the consoles. Now, another thing, we're coming up on E3 in June. So this list may change with the addition of more games, hopefully, and I'll update my channel when we get to that point. Okay. So now I want to get to the piece de resistance. I want to get to the launch calendar here for 2012 and part of 2013. So first up, we have Mass Effect 3 coming out tomorrow, which, unless you're either dead or under a rock, you already know that. Okay. And I will have an unboxing of the PC Collector's Edition tomorrow. I'll have that up tomorrow, and then look for the walkthrough following that. Next, we have Rayman Origins coming out on March 29th. Now this game, man, I played the demo, and within the first minute, I fell in love with it. It was just amazing. And I'm going to try and get my fiance to do a little co-op commentary gameplay with me with that game, since it's up to 4-player co-op, and she's into that whole 2D side scrolling. It's very simple. It's very simplistic and easy. You don't have to think too much. You don't have to press a lot of buttons. She likes that. Okay, so we'll see if we can get that going. I'm not going to promise anything, but we'll see. Okay, then we have a little bit of a break until April 24th. Let me look here. April 24th, when Prototype 2 comes out. Now, honestly, I didn't really care for the first one that much. The entire time I was playing, I just found myself scaling the skyscrapers, running up and down the buildings, just having fun like that, blowing shit out of things. I didn't do any missions, and eventually I got really bored with the game, so I uninstalled it, and that was it. But this one, it looks much better from what I've seen. Okay, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. Then we have another break until May 18th, and it's really cool. This is the last break we're going to have until July, I'd say. And again, this is based on the games that have been announced, and they actually have a release date. I'm just going by the release dates here. They are subject to change, though, After that, it's going to be heavy hitting until July. May 18th is when PC gets Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City, which I'm super excited about. initially I was so disappointed when they said the PC players are going to have to wait until the winter, quarter 4, until we get this game for PC. But then they changed it drastically, and the release date moved up to May 18th, which is awesome news. It's awesome. I mean, it's a different approach to take on the series, which is fine if you've been keeping track of this game. It's a different approach on this game, on this series, which is cool. It's fine. I mean, 3 Resident Evil games out this year. I'm not complaining one bit. Which, by the way, Revelations was amazing. You need to go get that if you have a 3DS and you haven't already. Awesome game. It's sweet. Next on the calendar, we have Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Now, it has a date of May 22nd, but I am almost 100% sure that this game will be delayed at some point, only because it's Ubisoft. Okay, that's just their track record for PC. That's really all I'll say there. The game looks good, but I'm not holding my breath for May at all. That's just how it is. Then we have a game that not much has really been said about it, but what I have heard about Spec Ops: The Line is it's definitely piqued my interest. So, check that out. Just go to one of the gaming sites and type it in, Spec Ops: The Line, and check it out. Comes out on May 29th. So now, on that very same day, it's a very, very big return for a certain character, which kept getting pushed back further and further, and then possibly canceled. We're not sure what's going on with this game, but then finally, Max Payne 3 was given a release date, and there's been a ton of coverage recently on this game, and it looks fantastic. There's a ton of videos, screenshots, for PC too, and it just looks amazing. Now, it comes out on the same day as Spec Ops, but I will be playing Max Payne first for sure. That's definitely priority on that day, because I love the Max Payne games. I love the first and second one, and they were and they still are excellent games. They're very cheap on Steam too, so if you haven't played them yet, go pick them up. Go pick them up. They're really good. So now we have, I guess, a tiny little break until June 12th. Okay, but in between that time, from May 29th to June 12th, we have E3. Okay, we have E3 from June 5th to June 7th. So we'll be getting lots of really juicy, good information there. Then, like I said, on June 12th, we have Sniper Ghost Warrior 2, which looks miles better than the first one. I did like the first one. It was fun, but it got a little bit repetitive with the missions. They were very similar, and the enemies were it's like they were all friggin' relatives of each other. And the environments, it was just a big jungle, basically, but it was fun nonetheless. Watching the slow-motion sniper bullet go through a skull was pretty neat, as morbid as that sounds. Okay, so that's coming out on June 12th. Then, on June 26th, we have another sequel, Darksiders 2. I enjoyed the first one. It was similar to God of War. It had that same beat the shit out of everything style going for it, and I was digging it. It's just mindless fun. So the second one, it's only going to be better, right? And that is really it until, I'd say, August. Let me look here. Yeah. Yep, August 1st. That was our heavy hitting time there from May to July. Then on August 1st, and you guys might not be as excited because it's not really a huge release, but Lego Batman 2 is coming out, or whatever it's called, Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes or something like that. I can't remember. I freaking love Lego games, and Lego Batman was hands down my absolute favorite Lego game, and it's always going to be my favorite game. It was just something special because it combined my love for Legos with my love for Batman. I know that sounded wrong. I'm not gay for Batman. He's just cool. Batman's the shit, and the Legos are the shit. So Lego Batman is the double shit. Okay? And for the longest time, I can't tell you, man. For the longest time, I was hoping and praying for a sequel. And they just kept putting out these other Lego games. Lego Indie, and Lego Harry Potter, and then another Lego Harry Potter, and then Lego Pirates, and then that piece of ass hair, Lego Star Wars 3. Oh, don't even get me started. And I was like, it's never gonna happen. But then, boom! Here comes Lego Batman, with Lego Superman, and Lego Green Lantern in the same game. It's, oh my god, it's awesome. So, that's August 1st. Okay, looking forward to that. It's supposed to release, you know, somewhat close to The Dark Knight Rises, the movie. So, yeah. So that's that, August 1st. Check it out. Then about a month from then, we have Far Cry 3 on September 3rd. And I like that it's going back to the jungle. You're probably like, why? But we have so many freaking jungle games, it's ridiculous. You have Crisis already, blah, blah, blah. Nothing's going to beat that, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? I just like that it's going back to like its roots, kind of. Far Cry 1 was in the jungle, and that was a really cool game. It was a really mysterious, interesting story, and I liked it. Far Cry 2 was painfully boring to me. It made me want to kill myself. It was, well, no. But it took forever to get anywhere, and you'd kill people at a checkpoint, right? And then 5 minutes later, you'd go back through that checkpoint, because you had to, and they'd be back, and in greater numbers. Like sand people. Yeah, it's Star Wars reference for the kids that are listening and don't understand. Yeah. Anyway, then on the 18th, we'll just keep moving on here. Then on the 18th, we have Borderlands 2, which is exciting because I played the first one in and out, man. I did every single mission, bought and played through every DLC. That game was just great. You know, and I like how we have new characters to play with. But they didn't just disregard the original characters. They're still in the game, but they're just NPCs, which is cool. I'm just glad they're still in the game instead of leaving them out altogether. Okay, so that is September 18th, Borderlands 2. Then about a month later, on October 16th, we have BioShock Infinite. Now you leave it to Ken Levine to create one of the most insane games in video game history. I mean that. Oh my god, that game looks ridiculous. Okay, the BioShock series is one of the best, in my opinion. And it's only appropriate, I guess, to go from the sea to the sky. And it's looking just amazing. Okay, very promising. Okay, so next we have a recently released game. Well, a recently released announcement about the game. With some leaked photos, which got a ton of people pumped for the next installment of this series. Assassin's Creed 3 is coming out on Mischief Night, October 30th. Okay. Now, again, this is Ubisoft we're talking about, so you got to take that release date with a grain of salt. I'll say that the release date for consoles is October 30th, but PC players, I am going to take a wild shot in the dark here. We're probably going to wait a little bit longer. How much longer, I don't know, but I'm just calling it right now. Okay. I could be wrong, but I'm just basing this off of history with Ubisoft. That's just what happens. I don't know. But the game looks incredible nonetheless. With the game taking place during what looks to be the American Revolution, I don't see how this game is going to go wrong. Man, it looks awesome. I'm looking forward to it. And lastly, we have Resident Evil 6. Mostly anticipated game here. November 20th is the release date. I think for the consoles, though. I think PC is going to come a little bit later, so as of now, it's to be determined what the date's going to be. So, with that said, this is the last game on my list here with a release date. The rest are pretty much TBA. So, we'll just start with Diablo 3. Diablo 3 is supposedly coming out in the first quarter of this year. So, unless it's coming out within the next couple weeks, I'd say that's not true. So, we'll see what happens there. And then Tomb Raider is supposedly coming out in 2012 sometime. I heard sometime in quarter 3, maybe quarter 4, October, November, December. I don't know. We'll see. Then we have XCOM Enemy Unknown coming out sometime next year in 2013, as well as Rainbow Six Patriots. Rainbow Six Patriots, they had a short gameplay video. I'm sure it's up on here somewhere. You should check it out. It looked pretty cool. And then finally, you have Hitman Absolution, which is just TBA. Doesn't give you a year. I'm sure it's coming out in 2013. I'm putting money down on that. But yeah, there's also a little gameplay demo video for that too. Check it out. It was really, really interesting. But yeah, I'm not sure when that's coming out. So that, in a nutshell, is what this year looks like for PC gaming and into 2013. So stay tuned for the Collector's Edition unboxing tomorrow for Mass Effect 3, and then the single-player walkthrough, and eventually, once I get through the single-player, or maybe I'll take a little break from the single-player and put up some multiplayer or co-op gameplay for Mass Effect 3. Okay? Alright, this is Super Grover, signing out.